In a world where slow news weeks are determined by how many Fortnite articles are published. In a world where epic games live up to their namesake and release the only game worth mentioning. In a world where Fortnite has perforated its way into every facet of our society, one contrarian on the internet, Red Hipster, remains completely unfazed by the hit free-to-play battle royale game, Fortnite, and its prominent application of meme dances such as flossin', or something like that. I kid you not when I say at the beginning of the week, the only noteworthy news being released was strictly Fortnite related. I guess I have Sony, Microsoft, Rockstar, and Bungie to thank for saving me. I was not looking forward to changing the title of this video to the One-Man Fortnite cast. However, before I bore both you and I with the tales of Epic Games' cash cow and how they intend on creating a 100-foot pool filled to the brim with your money, let's hash out the fun stuff. Sony is getting with the times, it would seem, as they finally decide to allow people to alter their usernames. Share crossplay with other platforms is only available to those who play games that rhyme with fork knife, and strict censorship of lewd anime games or outright denial of their localization is more commonplace than crime in the south side of Chicago. But it's something. The intention is to roll out this feature sometime early next year. In the meanwhile, those who have signed up for the PS4 software betas in the past have a chance of being selected to test it out between now and the end of November. While you may never come up with a name as amazing as, say, Zombie Recon, this is the perfect opportunity to shed your old alias in favor of one with less X's, numbers, and references to weed, Mountain Dew, or impeccable sniping skills. The latest buzz in the games industry is that Microsoft is in the process of buying, or has already bought, Obsidian Entertainment, developers of Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, and South Park, The Stick of Truth. This rumor comes to light after the conglomerate announced the acquisition of The Initiative, Undead Labs, Playground Games, Ninja Theory, and Compulsion Games during E3 earlier this year. In many ways, this may seem standard fare for a major platform holder and owner of the self-titled Microsoft Store, but anyone without a blindingly strong bias towards the company can see as clear as day that this move is in response to their lackluster catalog of exclusives this generation, especially when compared to competitors Sony, Nintendo, and in some respects, even Valve and Blizzard. While it's unlikely Obsidian will be able to launch a game in time for the release of Xbox's successor, Project Scarlet, it ought to bolster their chances of not falling back into irrelevance. Speaking of irrelevance, does anyone else remember the criminally underrated Bully by Rockstar Games? It was Grand Theft Auto toned down by its private boarding school setting and 15-year-old protagonist, aka a really rad, slightly controversial good time. Well, rumor has it that a sequel may very well be in the works. A casting call was tweeted out for a new unannounced video game title with leading UK games developer. Alleged roles for the part are a college professor and a sophisticated, mature college student. While none of this implicitly states that Bully 2 is even up for consideration, let alone bubbling to the surface, it's gotten fans and devs alike talking. Here's to hoping for a microtransaction-ridden multiplayer mode to extend the lifespan beyond its rich single-player campaign. Oh, and more slingshot variants. Bungie has further elaborated on this year's Destiny Halloween event, Festival of the Lost, which proved missing this time last year. Instead of strictly cosmetic rewards courtesy of Eververse, something fans may have come to expect, the developer has repurposed the criminally underutilized and oversold Infinite Forest from the Curse of Osiris expansion, and made it a timed dungeon that gives you better loot the further you go in. There's also an exclusive auto rifle which appears to be a remake of Year 1's origin story, and a murder mystery to be solved. As if that weren't enough, they are also announced that anyone who purchases Forsaken post October 16th will receive all past DLCs free of charge, a necessary component if you wanted to access the newest expansion. This policy, something that should have been implemented upon its release, no longer expects returning vanilla players to spend an additional $20 to $40 on top of the price of admission and the initial base game purchase. Consumer-friendly practices! Hell yeah! Now it's time for Fortnite Weekly, a segment focused solely on, well, you get it. Epic Games announced their Support a Creator program, which began the 10th and is set to continue until the end of the year. Utilizing this, the player base can pledge themselves to a content creator, and all of their V-Buck purchases will contribute to a pool. Every time it reaches a cumulative 10,000 V-Bucks, or 100 USD in layman's terms, the creator will receive support in the form of a 5% cut of the profits. While this may seem a little stingy on the end of the developer/publisher, especially towards the lesser known who aren't even guaranteed one payment, for people like Ninja, who is the de facto face of the game, they have the chance of accumulating some serious pocket change. Listen, all I'm saying is that if I choose to associate my money with the creator, I'd want something more than the satisfaction of making them richer and myself poorer. You know, like an avatar, or an in-game t-shirt, or a shout out on a stream. Listen, I didn't say it had to be big, just anything to suppress the realization that I was helping to fuel the capitalist machine. Epic Games also announced the acquisition of Camu, developer of the easy anti-cheat software. In a world where cheaters never prosper, one developer says nay, takes up their sword, their shield, and purchases a company to do their dirty work for them. Jokes aside, this news should inspire confidence from the Fortnite player base that Epic is actively fighting the good fight against hackers. The wider implications of this purchase, on the other hand, have yet to be seen. Camu software already supported a plethora of games such as Far Cry 5, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and even ex-competitor Realm Royale. How much money is Epic projected to make from this as a result? Could this knowledge be used to squelch licensure for games in the Battle Royale genre? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. That's it for this week's newscast. While there are a couple more Fortnite related pieces I could have thrown into the mix, I chose the path of preserved sanity. Due to the abundance of information pertaining to it from the last year or so, desensitization hit quick and hit like a truck. It's unfortunate. Maybe if I had a baseline interest in the game, I could happily spend 10 minutes talking solely about it. Destiny 2, on the other hand,